Just shut the door on your way out, Stephen, will you?
This isn't my idea.
Look, I told Mike Rossi I didn't want to talk to you.
I told him the same thing.
Oh, but you came anyway, huh? Out of the goodness of your heart.
I came because your doctor thinks we should talk.
Oh, come on, you know I don't smoke.
Well, being cooped up like this, so few pleasures.
You know we have nothing to talk about.
We both love the same woman. How's that for openers?
Just get out of here, will you, please?
Not until we talk.
If I could get out of this chair.
If you could, you'd have something to worry about. Something more than suspicion and innuendo. If you weren't in that chair, I'd be doing everything you think I am to get Betty back.
What are you trying to tell me? That your moral code won't allow you to take advantage of my condition?
You're the one who's taking advantage of your condition. You've never been sure why Betty married you, have you? Was it love? Or was it the terms of Martin Peyton's will? Well, now you got a way out. Yeah, if you lose her, you can chalk it up to fate. Your broken neck. My immorality. Her very natural, very understandable human needs. You can be noble, forgiving. But there's one thing you can't be, Rod. You can't be sure.
Oh, don't tell me you're not seeing her. You've been trying to get close to her since the moment we got married.
Up until the day you were hurt.
Oh, come off it, Stephen.
I got Norm to let me handle your business contracts so I could stay close to her somehow. I used that to see her when I could. And up to the moment you hit that tree, I would have done anything to get Betty back, but not now.
I saw you with her here in the corridor the other night.
Talking about you.
In a corner with your arm around hers?
Miss Choate asked me to come in to sign some papers releasing a gift I made to the hospital.
And you had no idea that Betty might be here?
Well, I knew she could be, but I didn't intend to see her.
It just happened, of course.
She overheard Miss Choate talking about a gym set up for the therapy room and asked me why I'd done it.
You donated that gym setup?
Yes.
Well, that must have made quite an impression.
I made it clear it was for very selfish reasons.
Funny she didn't mention it when she came in to see me.
Because I asked her not to. But you won't believe her, will you? Because you don't trust her.
I don't trust you.
Now, I've read every medical book I could get my hands on that covered injuries like yours. And I understand the depression you have, the anxieties you feel.
And I'm sure you discussed it all with Betty, too.
Yes, but not over candlelight and caviar. Any affair you're afraid we're having is only in your mind. It's a fantasy, that's all. Look, Ron, I understand how real the fantasy world can be. I have my moments, too. The other night I was home alone, going over some briefs. I got tired, stopped for a drink. And when I started to relax, I thought about going upstairs to Betty. Yeah. I actually put down the glass and started for the staircase before I realized she wasn't there. Because her name is Harrington now, not Corbin. She belongs to you, not me. She's your wife, Ron. That's the reality of the moment. She's your wife, and she'll be faithful to you. But I still wear this because that's the way I feel about her. I'm not going to hide it from you. I'm not going to hide it from anyone. And I'm going to keep on wearing it until I know how she feels, how she really feels. That's why you've got to walk out of this hospital. You've got to be a whole man when I make her choose between us. Oh, you can't fight me, Rod. And I don't want to fight you. It wouldn't prove anything to beat a cripple or a coward. The therapy room's only 50 feet away. You make it on your own? You want me to push you?
Don't push me anymore, Steve.
I always said you had things too easy. That you'd quit if you were ever really tested. Well, I'm not going to let you prove me right. I'm not going to let you win by default. Get up. Stephen. He's your patient, Doctor. Get him on his feet.
Come in. Oh, Harry, hi. Come on, sit down, will you?
Hey, what's on your mind?
Well, here, take a look at this.
What's that?
It's a progress report.
Oh, Harrington's.
Yeah. Harry, I'm afraid I did a foolish thing.
Yeah, well, hey, suppose you tell me about it. Your handwriting's worse than mine.
You know, we were concerned over his apathy, discussing his possible causes,
Yeah, his wife.
and Stephen Court.
So you locked him in a room for a two-man group therapy session.
Actually, what I did was I let him climb into the ring without a referee.
Anything happened to Rod?
Well, he wasn't hurt physically. Whatever Stephen Court said to him sure cut him up mentally. Made him more hostile and defensive. Just a stupid move on my part, that's all. Didn't just make him withdraw further. It caused him to lose confidence in me and in my judgment. So now he's over there just shaking away with anger. I couldn't get one word out.
Oh, don't worry, it'll come.
I doubt it. You see, I've known him for so long, and Stephen, too. I should have been able to figure out what was going to happen.
Oh, I think everything will be all right. Anyway, what was it you wanted to see me about?
Well, since I can't get to him anymore, Harry, I'm going to ask you to try.
You mean you want me to go in there?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to give him confidence in your judgment? Avoiding him now, not standing behind what you thought was right?
But I was wrong.
You don't know that.
You want me to order you to go see him?
Yeah, well, before you do, can I make an observation? You're not being very objective, Doctor.
That's exactly my point. Exactly why I want you to go see him.
Objectivity is what the patient needs.
But he can't get that from me, Harry.
Well, he has to get it from you, Mike.
I don't know. I've set his recovery back God knows how long.
Oh, I don't think so. Not unless you back off.
What do you mean?
Well, you sent Cody in there because you thought it would help Rod. Well, if you drop the ball now, you're saying one of two things. You're saying, Rod, that's the way it is. Now, if you can't accept it, I'm sorry. Or you're saying, I didn't realize the truth was that bad, and I regret very much having been the one who made you look at it.
Harry.
Oh, now, look. Now, if there was a struggle, Mike, that means that he tried to use those muscles, right? Well, if the truth made him angry enough to try, good. And if it wasn't the truth, so what? At least he tried. The first physical movement he's made on his own in days.
Probably his last.
No, we won't let it be. Hey, you know what they used to tell us in the Navy when we ran out of supplies? They said, use what you got, sailor. Now, they knew we didn't have much of anything, but they'd say, use what you got. Okay? So it didn't work out the way you planned, right? But it left Rod with this thing churning inside. Now, that's better than apathy. At least we've got something. Let's use it.
I can't take any more chances on his recovery.
Okay. Well, you just go on in there and tell him that. You tell him that you know now he's a very fragile young man, and you're not going to let anybody give a handicapped patient of yours a rough time ever again. Or you can let me go in there. That'd be saying the same thing. No, Mike. There's only one person he wants to see anyway. There's only one person he really needs to see.
Mrs. Harrington, excuse me, could you wait for just a second?
Is it important?
Yes, if you don't mind. I'll be through here in just a minute. Oh, yes, here it is, room 102. Down the hall to your left and about halfway around. Do you want me to put those flowers in a vase?
Oh, no, thank you.
All right. I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
You're not being overzealous about visiting hours, are you?
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, you see, my husband and I have a running gag about my being on time. You see, he keeps a stopwatch on me.
Mrs. Harrington, about tonight, I'm afraid your husband doesn't want to be disturbed.
Disturbed?
He's asked me to tell his visitors to excuse him.
Something the matter?
Oh, no, he's just very tired.
Well, then I promise not to tire him.
Mrs. Harrington, I don't know how to say this, but he's asleep, and he's really exhausted. And he doesn't want to be disturbed. He's asked to have the no visitors sign put on his door.
Well, I'm his wife. I'm sure he doesn't mean me.
No. Well, actually, he mentioned you specifically. He said that you'd understand about his being so tired, and he'll see you first thing in the morning.
Thank you.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
It's all mine now, and I can do whatever I want with it.
I don't need you. You're pathetic. Because you wear your failure like a badge of honor.
That way you can get nice things. Good things.